Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Thanks for joining the live. Come on in, come on in. This is my second time going live on this page, live on this OC Street Files. And we got a lot to talk about. If you didn't catch the last live, and I hope that you can hear me, let me know that you can hear the audio. Thanks, what is that? Casalito for joining. Jorge Cruz, thank you for joining. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff. If you didn't catch the last live that I did, and I hope you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me, Jorge Cruz, Javier, let me know that you can hear me. If you didn't catch the last live I was covering the state of Illinois, new rulings and things like that. And if you didn't pay attention, which I need you to do when I'm doing these lives, because I'm putting you up on game. If you didn't pay attention to the last live, then you wouldn't have known that all of it was fake. It was all fake. It was all a fake. And nobody paid attention. Nobody knew that it was fake. I gave you all of that because that's one of the first things that I want you to learn when you're dealing with the judicial system. When you're dealing with the judicial system, do not trust anyone but yourself. Only yourself. And what I mean by that is make sure that you're going back and you're double checking the information. Because let me tell you a story. Let me tell you what happened to me, right? I called a case, fought it for maybe like 2 years, had a public defender, right? I had a public defender just to see what they could do. What's going up, Outlaw James Trotter? What's going on? Let me know that you can hear the live. I need to know that you're hearing it. Say something. Say something so I know that you're hearing the live. I just tried to get my audio. But let me tell you, we caught a case. For 2 years, I fought the case, right? Fought it with a public defender. So at the end, she's like, if I get a paid attorney, could I get a better deal, right? The public defender says, yes, that's most certainly would be the case, right? Which is interesting. Because what is the paid attorney going to do that you're not doing? So anyway, I get this paid attorney. Going on life to be gone 5+ years. 5+ years to me seemed like a lifetime, right? A lifetime. So I didn't want to do it. So finally they called me. I went on a run in Ohio. I got caught near Cleveland, Ohio. They bring me in. I get extradited back to Illinois. I'm from the state of Illinois, 815 Rocktown. What's happening? I get caught, right? They catch me. I get extradited back. They're still talking about this 7 years at 85%. So what do? I go and I get into the law books. And this is what I suggest. You got loved ones, you got friends, you got family, anybody that you got that's in there fighting or even out here fighting a case. Go and do the research. I researched it. Had a paid attorney, found out that the time that they were offering me at the 85%, they couldn't even give me. They couldn't even give it to me. Now, if I was like some people that saw the live from last week and didn't check me and say, hey, you need to correct this because this information is wrong, that's how they get you all the time because you're not paying attention. You're not looking at it. But today we are in, last week we did Illinois. Bogus cases, they were all fake. This time we are in Indiana. And I apologize that I got to read this stuff, but I'm going to be reading it off because I don't have my whatever, the thingy that you have on the in front of you that you read off. I don't have it. So anyway, tonight to read off. I don't have it. So anyway, tonight in a place where the law always move. They always move the way you think. The courts don't always see what you see, and the truth sometimes it's buried under paperwork, pride, and procedure. Welcome to OC Street Files Live. I'm Bosco, certified paralegal. I am certified paralegal. Certified. If you need a case summary, if you want to know how to file your motions, if you want to know how to expunge your record, if you just need some clarification on some things, make sure that you subscribe. Or just, I'm not. Look, you can just reach out to me. Send me a message or something. Let me know that you can hear the live. What's up, Ray Khan? Alfonso Ramirez, thank you for joining. Make sure you follow, subscribe, because like I say, I can help you. I'm a certified paralegal. But anyway, Welcome to OC Street Files, where I break down real cases, real rulings, and real moments where the system either worked or failed the people that are trapped inside. And before I get started, let me make this clear. Let me make this real clear. Everything that you hear tonight, unlike the last time, everything that you hear tonight is going to be real. These ain't going to be rumors. They're not fictionalized episodes like TV crime shows. None of that. These are Indiana court cases decided by real judges affecting real lives. That's what this is. And like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I am a certified paralegal. And one thing that I've learned, most people only lose in the justice system because no one ever explained the rules to them, right? Like I said, that was my case. Almost got me 70 to 85% because I wasn't studying for myself. I walk through five major Indiana cases and 3 micro cases, each one showing a different way somebody's life can turn on a single decision: a warrant, a witness, a mistake, a lie, a confession, a memory, whatever. And by the end of the episode, you'll know more than some attorneys who walk into court on autopilot. And before we get into the first case, if you want deeper breakdowns, if you want real case files and exclusive appeal explanations, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, support the movement so we can keep exposing how the system really works and we can help people. I had a brother reach out to me today. It's locked up in Indiana, right? Locked up in the state of Indiana. He reached out and said, man, I love what you're doing, man. It has to be a voice for the voiceless. And that's what I am. I'm talking for the people, man, that I like, I used to be, in a different lifestyle. I wasn't a truck landlord. Let me tell you what happened to me. Came home today, got screwed, tried to help a family member. They're busted. There's water all over the place. Man, and it's so frustrating because you're always trying to help people out, and people are only to help people out, and people are only really interested in helping themselves today. They don't care, and it doesn't matter. They don't care. The people you got a lot of people in this life that are only vampires or leeches. They want to suck you dry, and not in a good way. That was inappropriate. That was very inappropriate. Anyway, let's start with a case where a man's fate turned on something as small and as powerful as one hidden piece of paper. This is a State versus Elijah I. Parchman, 2022. If you're in the state of Indiana, you might have heard about this case. Anyway, April 2019 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, shots ring out near a corner store around 2 a.m., right? 2 a.m., shots ring out. 2 men go down. One of them, Bobby Minor, never gets up. The other one, Akeem Minor, survives just long enough to point the police in one direction. That was the direction of Elijah Parchman. Now, understand something. When a case starts with chaos, confusion, and bodies, right? The police don't sound. Don't walk. No, they run. Sprint toward a conviction, you skip steps or you hide. And Parchman was charged. He was charged with murder and attempted murder, right? Not small charges. He's fighting for his life. These are, like I said, the whole entire life away charges. Before trial, Parchman's defense asked the state for everything about the surviving witnesses. They want all the information on the surviving witnesses because it's very pertinent, and their credibility. And this history. All those things the attorney needs before they put a man on trial for murder. The state turned over some things. They gave some things to the defense attorney, but not everything. Now, here's where the story gets real. In November 2020, the trial starts, right? It starts. Minor, the surviving witness, takes a stand and tries to help the state, tries to point the finger at Parchman. Under pressure, he admits he wasn't sure how far away the shooter was. He admits that while on the stand, right? The jury hears that, the courtroom shifts, because when your star witness says, hey, I don't really know, case starts getting a little shaky. But after the trial, after the guilty verdict, he was still found guilty. Parchman was still found guilty. After that, right, something comes out. The judge learns that Minor, the witness, had a juvenile delinquency adjudication, a serious one, had a serious one. Something that if he were an adult at the time, it would have been a Class B felony burglary. Information like that should have been turned over to the defense. It should have been turned over to the defense. That could make the jury question his credibility. Information the prosecutor either forgot to mention or decided, hey, I'm just not going to mention it. Because sometimes it's more important to win the case. I don't really care about winning the case, right? So I'm not going to mention. This is a Brady violation. Look that up. Google it. It's a Brady violation. This witness wasn't who he said he was. And the client, Mr. Parchman, deserved a new trial, right? If you've ever watched prosecutors talk about Brady violation, you know they always act like it's no big deal. It's nothing. Always act like it's no big deal. It's nothing. It's just it's old. It's not relevant. It wouldn't have changed anything. Listen, credibility is the whole thing rests on one shaky witness. The trial judge agreed. He granted Parchman a new trial, but this story it doesn't end there. Because the state, not happy about losing their conviction, appealed the judge's decision. And in December 2022, the Indiana Court of Appeals stepped in and said something that hurts to hear, right? It hurts to hear. The state withheld evidence, but no, it wasn't material enough to change the outcome. It wasn't material enough to change the outcome. What that means, in other words, we're not saying the state did it right. We're saying it doesn't matter. It didn't matter because they had the physical evidence, shell casings, copper jackets, distances measured, blood trail, photo documentation, and the court said photo documentation, and the court said that the jury would have still if they had a trial record. You know what that tells me? You know what that tells me, or what it tells you? Sometimes the truth don't matter unless it's big enough to move the needle in the eyes of the court. Yeah, we messed up, but not enough for you to win. Lesson for everybody watching. A Brady violation is not automatic freedom. The system doesn't care if they hid something. They care whether you can prove that that hidden something would have changed the jury's mind. And for the defendants, for families, for people who believe in fairness, I know that's a hard pill to swallow. When the state decides to hide evidence about witnesses, juvenile records, deals, motives, that's a Brady violation. Remember that Brady violation. Again, look it up. But in Indiana, even the state messes up, the court will say, will this have changed the verdict? And you just have to keep that in mind. If there is a Brady violation, is it really worth the fight, or should you try another angle? Because again, it has to be enough where it would actually change the outcome of the case, where the jury would, come to another decision. Then we're gonna get into the other one, but let me talk about it. If you've been watching OC Street Files, right? You got to go back and check out. Follow me. You got to follow me. Go check out some of those the videos I do. The videos are awesome. I talk about gangs, gang history, founders, bosses, leaders, toxic couples, infamous couples, conspiracy files. I get into that a little bit. Organized crime syndicates. I'm going to be getting into this week. They say make sure you subscribe, because this week I'm going to be getting deeper into the expungements and sealing your record, and also how to file a motion. So if those are things that you may be interested in learning, make sure that you do subscribe. Follow me, even if you don't. But this week, I don't know if you heard about this, right? Earlier this week, there was an indictment, East Arlington, Texas. 21 people got picked up on these indictments, right? 21 people, all between the ages of 18 to 23. I don't know if you heard about this. They're called the Kick Door Gang. The Kick Door Gang. Anyway, this is something that they're doing around, kicking in people's doors to rob them, right? Drug dealers, people that got stashes of money, whatever. And I'm thinking to myself when I hear about it, that's a dangerous lifestyle. That is very risque. You know what I mean? Like, Can you imagine? Because keep in mind, I don't know if you've ever been involved in that type of lifestyle. And maybe not, but you can just imagine. You're going to a house, right? You're going to a house. You don't know how many people are there, who's all in the house. You have no idea what's going on. Andrea Brown. Thanks for staying with me on Alfonso Ramirez. Who is that up there? Lopez. What up? Follow me, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go check out my videos. My videos are awesome. Let me know what you think. Make all the music. All the music is produced by Up to Scope Media Group. OC Street Files is just pretty much a subsidiary of that particular brand of that umbrella. Killer Wild, what's happening? But they're just going around kicking these doors. Now you have to understand that's a very dangerous lifestyle, because people on the other side of that door, right? They have to know that this particular gang is out there, and they have to be prepared, because they know. You have to think, when you're going through a door and you're kicking in somebody's, it's scary to think that some people were actually not only living their lives like that, but you had a community, an entire community that was living through this particular crime wave. You know what I mean? They said that they had over 180 incidents that these kick-door gangs were involved in. And they're all young. Like, you're 18 to 23. You got life. Man, I don't know, man. It's crazy. People are crazy out here. You know what I mean? They're just crazy out here. Where am I at? Where am I at? Oh, this is, okay. Let's get, again, I'm in Indiana, the state of Indiana. These are actual cases, real rulings. If you know someone, even in your state, these things are there, because it can help someone you love, someone that you care about, to be back in court on a bill, a post-conviction relief, anything like that. Make sure you pay attention. Make sure you follow, subscribe. Bosco, certified paralegal. That's me. Yeah. So my second case is Norman Thomas, the second versus the state. This is the warrant went too far. Now pay attention to this one. Pay attention to this one. This is very interesting and very helpful for a lot of people. So pay attention. This one, like I said, everyone should be listening to. Think twice about what police can do and what they cannot do when they show up with a piece of paper called a warrant, because in this case, that piece of paper wasn't worth the ink on it. It wasn't worth the ink on it. Police believe that Thomas is involved in criminal activity, right? This is the belief. They go, Ramon, Jorge Gonzalez, what's happening? But here's a twist. When Thomas and his attorneys actually looked at the warrant, it reads like somebody handed the police a blank permission slip. A warrant is supposed to be specific. What are you looking for? Where exactly are you allowed to look? What is the probable cause? What crime is being investigated? But this particular warrant, in this case, it was too broad. It was vague. It let the officer search basically anything, anywhere in Thomas's home without clear limits. And if the justice system in the justice system, vague is dangerous, right? Because a vague warrant lets officers do what the Constitution is supposed to stop them from doing. A vague warrant lets officers do what the Constitution is supposed to stop them from doing. Fishing expeditions, you're going on fishing stuff, right? Turn your whole house down because they feel like it. So when the case is appellate court, just look at the document and say, this is not how the Fourth Amendment works. They rule the warrant invalid. They rule the big part. This is where I was telling you, listen, any evidence found as a result of an illegal warrant, suppressed. It's thrown out. It's unusable. Unusable. A bad warrant can collapse an entire case. And listen, let me talk to the people for a second. If law enforcement shows up at your door with a warrant, if they show up with a warrant, don't fight, don't argue, don't resist, don't do any of that. Don't grab the paper out their hand. You let them do what they're going to do. But when the dust settles, read the warrant. Line for line. Read it line for line. Look for specific locations, specific items, the underlying crime, proper signatures, date, scope. And if anything looks too broad, you might have a legal challenge. Remember that. that's in this case, Norman Thomas. This case proves that even in 2025, Indiana courts will still throw out evidence when police get sloppy with warrants. And the crazy part, this wasn't some obscure technicality. It wasn't what's going on in Shortland and Jefferson overbroad warrant. Anything they found can be thrown out. In Indiana, Norman Thomas II proved that an illegal warrant means illegal evidence, and no conviction can be based on that. Right? That's our second we're covering tonight. Again, let me get back to the OC Street Files shows. Some people, sometimes I have to make corrections, right? I got to go back and make corrections of some of these things because I make a lot of content in a day. In my videos, it's not just, they're not, just plain video. They're kind of cinematic entertainment. But anyway, I had a video I did of Ambrose Nation. If you haven't heard of Ambrose Nation, it's a gang from Chicago. And in this particular video that I did on the Ambrose Nation, Almighty Ambrose Nation, I actually said that they were affiliated with Peoples, right? The People. If you don't know, if you're from Chicago, you know that there's Folks Nation and there's People Nation, right? Two different sides, over here, over there. But I said that they were people, right? And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very honest with you guys because you're watching right now. So I'm going to be honest with you. I actually did it intentionally, right? I did it intentionally because I felt that what would happen is that it would create engagement. That's just me being honest. I knew they were folks. You know what I mean? I knew that. I know a lot more than some people may believe, but the thing is that when you know things, you can pretend like you don't know, but if you're stupid, you can't pretend to be. I forget the saying, but anyway, how it goes. Yes, the Ambrose are part of the Folks Nation. They are. Color, I think was like sky blue, white, something like that. They got the spear, the A, and all of that stuff. But yeah, Ambrose Nation, definitely part of the Folks Nation. But I do appreciate everyone that came in and corrected me. Lets me know that you're watching, that you enjoyed the videos that I'm doing, and I appreciate it. I love it. Because and even though I'm doing a lot of this as far as entertainment. What's up, JBC, JJ? Thanks for joining. Make sure you follow me. Watch my videos. Go watch the video. Go and watch the videos. The videos are good. I do them just for your entertainment. So go and watch OC Street Files videos. You can go under any playlist. Am I spitting a lot? I feel like I'm spitting a lot. I feel like I'm talking like Kanye. What's his name? Conway the Machine. But look, listen, Richie Wallace. Go check out the videos. Go watch my videos. I got them in different playlists. You got the gangs and gang history, or hoods, gangs in. I'm gonna be over when I want to do block. I did Ville and St. Louis, so I'm gonna go on different areas. And, just researching the different blocks that they have, and what's going on there. Probably the most dangerous blocks, stuff like that. Yeah. What else? I was gonna say something. What else? I was gonna say something. I should have turned. If you don't know, I'm in my sleeper in my truck, and I had the heat on. The truck is on. But now the truck, after a little while, what it'll do is it'll turn off. And now it's cold air blowing in my face, right? And as much as I would like to continue doing this show, I'm gonna thug it out for a minute. What's going on, Joyce? Thanks for Rusty Nail. Thanks for joining. What is that? Yaradine Jimenez. Yes. Bosco certified paralegal. This is OC Street Files Live. Thank you for joining. Make sure you follow me. Subscribe if you need any legal help, case summaries, legal research. What up, Kyle? Thanks for joining. Make sure you go back. Roman Flores, thanks for joining. Go look at my videos. Check out my videos on my page. Follow me. Make sure you follow me. I really want to get into some more cases. I do. I promise I do. But I do not like the fact that this cold air is blowing in my face. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. Anthony L., what's going on? Lady Anthony L., what's going on? Lady K, what's happening? Make sure you follow me, subscribe. Yeah, I want to go. I may have to save this stuff for next week, because what I'm not going to do, about to do here is freeze to death. I'm not going to freeze to death. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. So thank you for joining me tonight. I'll be back next week. Same deep dives. It gets even better if you actually subscribe to the page. Make sure that you do subscribe to the page. Follow me. Yes. God loves you. Yes. God loves you, and I do. You have a blessed night. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. It's crazy in these streets.